Girls just don't know their value. They don't know their worth.
I hated my skin color. I hated my hair texture. I hated myself.
I was not really wanting to speak up and fear that maybe I would be silenced in a way.
I didn't like the idea of being vulnerable and not knowing or feeling like that you're wrong. I didn't ask questions because I had this idea that I was just supposed to know it or understand it.
And I was very doubtful and not, I guess regretful in a way about being black.
I really did not want to be alive. I wanted to give up on everything, and I didn't want to be Jaslyn.
I had trouble fitting in. My accent was really pronounced. It was the most noticeable thing about me, my accent. I went to an all-white school. I felt kind of alienated in a weird way, and my mom wanted me to make friends with black girls in the community, black girls who lived around me.
My name is Shalia Lachey Sutton, and I am president and founder of Uniquely You Summit. The summit is really it's bringing African American girls together, 11 to 18 years old, in hopes that somebody finds their story with somebody else. Oftentimes, unfortunately, we deal with molestation, or we deal with rape, or we deal with girls who try to commit suicide, and they feel alone in those situations, whether they have body image issues, whether they have, colorism issues, and it really is finding someone or connecting with someone that really has those same experiences.
I was in the hospital in March for depression and an eating disorder, and when I came home, I actually found a Uniquely You Summit program book, and I started to read it over again, and I was like, hey, this kind of reminds me of myself. I could learn from this.
It comes to girls finding someone whose story is similar to theirs, or whose hopes and dreams and goals and aspirations are similar to theirs. We break them out into groups of 20 to 25, and it's ran by an adult, but it's their intimate moment, their time to share, their time to talk about their life experiences and what it's like to be an adolescent, and what it's like to be an adolescent African American girl, and what that means in this day and time, and the things that they're challenged with, and the hopes and dreams that they have, but sometimes life gets in the way.
Last year we talked about bullying, we talked about school, and in that room you meet each other that day, but you feel so comfortable with each other.
By talking to the girls in my room and in the group we had, the girl exchange, I realized I wasn't the only girl in the world who suffered from depression, the only girl who had traveled with her family and moved a lot, and it just made me feel less alone.
Something that is really important to the work that we do is access, exposure, and options. Us taking girls who've never even left their neighborhoods, who've never left their communities, and making sure that they have an option, making sure that they are exposed to something outside of their community.
The speakers come up on stage and share all these stories about what they're going through, all these powerful black women so successful, and they share their struggle throughout the years. And it's not all pretty. Struggle isn't beautiful, you know what I mean? Stuff that makes you feel, okay, I can talk about it. I'm 17 years old, she's 26, I can share what I'm going through. Yeah, it's on a high school level, but it's real for me, So when we break into those small groups, we feel like what we're going through is really important, what we're going through needs to be shared. And there was no judgment just because, hey, we're all going through it.
I don't even feel like we've scratched the surface of the things that we want to do with these young ladies. Funding is always an issue. Educating girls, empowering girls is one of the most underfunded causes in the country. In the world. It's not just a Uniquely You Summit issue. There are things that need to be paid for to make sure that things like this happen, that girls have resources. Because of our mission statement, which is to help girls uniquely define, discover, and become who they are, for a greater good, for a global good. We want to make our mission statement reachable. We want to make it tangible to where they can actually, go to Ghana or go to India or go to South Africa and do the work that we've been doing in our community for these women who also need it. Also, eventually, we want to be able to provide scholarships. The age range that we serve, they're off to college, before we know it. Funding, it really is, everything. We can have vision out of the wazoo, but if we don't have funding behind a lot of the things that we want to do, it just doesn't get done. The challenge that we face is people really not believing that empowering girls is important.
UIS is definitely on a roll with helping black girls to see that it doesn't matter what shade you are, and it doesn't matter what size or shape or anything you are, that you're definitely capable of anything.
After Uniquely You, I kind of rested in the fact that I am who I am and I continue to grow and get better. I just have the freedom to discover who I am, and I have the freedom to choose who I want to be, and it's just so liberating.
When I went there, people encouraged me and they said, hey, I really love your hair and I really love your skin complexion, and it was like, hey, you're beautiful no matter what you look like.
I told my mom that I have epiphanies constantly throughout Uniquely You. Like, it's everything is so inspirational, and it hits home every single time. It's the whole weekend is awesome.
There's this just sense of community and no judgment that I love about every single summit, and there's a sense of understanding and just acceptance that helps you get self-acceptance from it.
When I was there, I was encouraged so much. So many people cared. It felt like one big family in 2 days.
For that whole weekend, you are surrounded by people who love you, and it doesn't matter if they know you or not, but you feel the love as you're walking from like your girl exchange group to like the next speaker. You feel the love, and they are all there.
That they keep coming. They could be doing so many other things, that they're craving the positivity that we're presenting. You know, they show up year after year, and you know, we're turning girls away at the end. These girls have so much that they're dealt with, and so much that they face every single day. So much that they face every single day, and to see them kick cycles of oppression in the butt it blows my mind.
Because the girl I was 2 years ago is definitely really sad. When I look back on it, I can't believe that I tried to take my own life twice, and that I didn't love myself. And I'm so glad that I met women who loved me for who I was, and it ultimately helped me learn to love myself.
One thing I've taken away from UIS would definitely be it's okay to be different, and it's okay to be black.
Before the Uniquely You Summit, I didn't think that I could love myself. But after the Uniquely You Summit, I know that there's no question in my mind that I'm worth it and that I'm beautiful.
Before UIS, I didn't have the courage to be me. And now after attending UIS, I feel empowered to be me every single day.
So before Uniquely You Summit, I didn't really realize that black girls could hold leadership positions. After getting involved in Uniquely You, I realized not only can you hold them, you can do so well at them.
I want girls to know that regardless of where you come from, how you were conceived, what you've done as a young person, that there was nothing stopping you from being all that you want to be. And you deserve to be all that you want to be. You're worthy of it. You're valuable. You know, you're loved.